Okay, so it was recently brought up in an interview that Nintendo themselves is going into, or is likely going to go into, the movie industry and start making movies of their IPs.
Hooray for Hollywood!
Which, hey, great. I'd love to see that happen. Um,
Well, there is enough material there to
yeah,
make movies into it.
yeah, it was pointed out that they probably would not be live action, which, you know what? It's safer to be animated, be it CGI or by hand drawn. Fine, if you want to go that route, that's fine. I wouldn't have ruled out the option for a live action film though. I mean, honestly, the one franchise that screams out that it could be done in live action is The Legend of Zelda. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty Lord of the Rings. If you gave it the same quality and care that the Lord of the Rings trilogy had, you could have had a badass Zelda trilogy.
Yeah, yeah, but after the whole debacle with the Mario movie, I'm sure they didn't want to make that mistake twice. So that's why they've been so cautious with it.
Probably, but we have gotten some animated shorts from Nintendo recently in the past that shows that their IPs can work as shows. We got that 15-minute short of Star Fox,
Mm,
which was promoting the game, which honestly, that little short did a better job than the game did.
right.
Recently, before that, there were also little Pikmin shorts, which were also really good, well received. And so now it's pretty clear what their next step is. They'd like to make bigger budgeted
Well,
Hollywood films.
they have to do it carefully because what Ratchet and Clank showed us is that even if it's animated, there's a good chance that no one's going to see it. So
Yeah,
it's
I
got to be done with a lot of care. Now, I think that Nintendo has the advantage because I think their IPs are more worldly known than Ratchet and Clank is, with
indeed
respect to the Ratchet and Clank,
that, and I would also blame that the
fans.
marketing for Ratchet and Clank just was not there.
Right. Nintendo, aren't going to push it. So, if they're going to start with anything, if these are going to be animated, probably the best way to start would be The Legend of Zelda.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, if they were gonna go a live action route with the Legend of Zelda, people often question like, okay, well, which Zelda story would they tell in live action? Should it be Ocarina of Time, or should it be
The
Link to...
easiest one to translate to a 2 hour movie format.
Honestly, if you want my answer that I've considered now, I would say go the original route.
Hmm.
Like go like trying to tell the story of a video game into a movie can more often than not lead to disaster because the pacing from a video game is completely different. Like the pacing and emotions you get from storytelling in a video game is not going to translate well to a film because things are going to be cut, and that's not what is going to please everybody. So, and especially with a series like Legend of Zelda where there's constantly new stories to tell, it would definitely be in the best interest to come up with an original story just like every other Zelda game has. Tell a story from a completely different standpoint. If you want to try to fit it in with the timeline, you can do that. If you want to just tell a Zelda story, you can do that. Every single Zelda game has more or less been following the same formula, but they've just told a different story and went about it a different way. There's no reason why a movie can't do that. Tell a different Zelda story.
Mm-hmm.
It can follow the same formula. At one point, Link's got to get the Master Sword. At one point, he's going to have to go through a few temples, and then at the end, he's going to have to fight Ganon. I mean, that's your basic formula for a Zelda story. Just come up with what happens in between all of that.
Well, one article suggests that Splatoon should be this first Nintendo movie they make. Interesting choice. It is their newest IPs.
It is their newest and hottest thing. Although I'm not sure if Splatoon even has a story.
I know. I was like, "What's the story?"
Is there a
I,
story?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure someone will correct us in the comments.
Is it not just
But
squid people shooting each other with paintball guns and having wars with it? Like,
hmm,
is there a story that I don't know about with Splatoon?
I don't know. But yeah, like I said, there's enough material there that you can do different types of stories, and not just the ones we're thinking about. Earthbound is a
Oh yeah,
possibility.
Earthbound definitely is a
You
huge
know,
possibility.
um, of course, Metroid, if you want to go the whole sci-fi route. Kid Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus could work.
Hell, actually,
Star Fox, Legend
Metroid
of
could have worked
Zelda.
as a live action movie.
That too. Star Fox, Legend of Zelda. So yeah. Uh, so yeah, it's possible. I mean, there is enough groundwork there. Unfortunately, like I said, the history is working against them.
Yeah, because
Um,
with the letdown of Ratchet and Clank and kind of just recent video game movies, had there been any, has
Upcoming films like Warcraft and Assassin's Creed don't exactly inspire us with a lot of confidence either.
yeah, we'll see.
And
Because unfortunately, this is what is
by the way,
scaring a lot of people.
just to segue real quick, did you hear about the Assassin's Creed movie that apparently I heard about after we did our podcast on it? Like 70% of it is going to take place in the modern time, and only 30% will take place in the past. And I'm like, isn't that exact opposite of how the game is?
Kinda, yeah.
It's like, oh, here we go. So, if you're going to adapt these products, you want to stay true to it, yes, but you have to make it accessible for people who've never played the game, and that's the tricky part. So hopefully Nintendo can bring in some talented people that hopefully they have the video game people working with the movie people. People that know how to make a movie and people who know these video games, and then come together, agree on consensus, bring in talented people to work on these films. So hopefully they can come together and make these movies awesome.
Yeah, because once again, it comes down to pacing. Just the storytelling and pacing on a video game doesn't equal that of an hour-long movie.
But can I have one request? Don't try to turn this into a cinematic universe. Not everything needs to be a cinematic universe, okay?
Why not? I'm gonna go the Kingdom Hearts route with it. Say that Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, Metroid, they're all different worlds, and
well, okay, I guess. But let's just save that for way later. If we're gonna do a Nintendo Avenger style movie, let's save that for later on. Let's just focus on
maybe after they make all their individual movies, maybe they'll finally make that Super Smash Brothers movie.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's like, I guess if they're gonna go the whole different planet route, if Link is that'd be an interesting solar system, I'm gonna say. Shoot! Now I'm kicking myself. Now I said that. Then I started thinking, like, wait a minute. They'll just put it on different planets. Oh yeah, I guess they would, huh? so I guess so. And then they'll make the Super Smash movie or something.
These worlds.
I guess not. Shoot. Never mind.
Link wouldn't have a problem getting around him either. He's done it. He's got the ocarina. He can just teleport himself anywhere.
Right. I guess that's true. I guess I spoke too soon, but yeah, okay. So I guess it could work, but let's focus on making these first individual films good before we start doing any crazy team ups.
Yeah. So, what do you guys want to see out of a Nintendo
Mario v Link: Dawn of Smash?
Dawn of Smash?